Our speaker today, Ming Tsai, is a role model who's been practicing total leadership for a very long time. World-renowned chef, author, media pioneer, and activist, Ming has shown that if you follow your heart, and in his case, your stomach, life will be a very rich and rewarding experience. Let's look at his extraordinary career through Friedman's total leadership prism. Ming took what he learned in his parents' restaurant and built a food empire that spans the globe. His own restaurant, Blue Ginger, is many of food lovers' favorite destination. His Food Network and PBS shows have attracted millions of viewers, and his cookbooks and video podcasts have trained countless amateur chefs. Through it all, his family has remained his top priority. In fact, Ming used his food expertise to help his son manage particularly difficult food allergies. And in the process, he's made it easier for countless others. Thanks to Ming Tsai, restaurants can now access his food allergy reference book, a pioneering system that helps people dine safely. His work, his family, and his community have been shaped by his ability to exercise total leadership. Ming also represents entrepreneurship at its best. For those of you dreaming of starting your own business, study Ming's career for lessons and inspiration. His success shows that you do not have to march down predictable, well-worn paths. He started out with an engineering degree from Yale and ended up as a food guru. "Two roads diverged in a wood," wrote New England's revered poet Robert Frost, "and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Bentley graduates, pack your bags with your rational, quantitative, analytical skills and your creativity, broad perspectives, and team-building capabilities, and follow the poet's voice. Take that less traveled road in ways that feel exactly right for you. And of course, don't forget to stay in touch with those of us back here in Waltham. Let us know what you're doing. I hope you'll come back to deliver a guest lecture. Involve your organization in student fieldwork or faculty research. And please hire our amazing students. We value our relationship with you, and we want to remain your lifelong partners in business education and so much more. I know I speak for everyone on this stage and for all our trustees, all our faculty and staff. We're so excited by what each and every one of you has accomplished. We're confident about the many, many accomplishments that we know are still to come, and we are so very proud that you are now alumni of Bentley University and the McCallum Graduate School. Congratulations and best wishes for success, for good health, and for so much happiness in everything you do. Thank you.
I call President Larson to preside over the presentation and conferring of an honorary degree.
And I call Ms. Cynthia M. Deischer, Bentley trustee and member of the McCallum class of 1987, to present Chef Ming Tsai for conferral of an honorary degree. Ming Hao Tsai, world-class chef, noted author, award-winning television host, astute businessman, and devoted son, husband, and father, we are proud to confer upon you today the honorary degree Doctor of Commercial Science. The twin passions of food and family have long guided your course. As a hungry kid hanging out in your mother's kitchen, keen to sample any dish underway, you took in the smells, the sights, the sizzle, and everything that I still love about cooking, said Ming. Training under master chefs in Paris and Osaka, you brokered a distinctive alliance between the flavors and the techniques of East and West. The bold results dazzled diners and industry tastemakers alike. Accolades have poured in from the James Beard Foundation, Zagat, Food and Wine Magazine, and so many others. Your skills at the plate keep tables full at Blue Ginger, the restaurant that you and wife Polly opened in Wellesley when suburban fine dining was more of an oxymoron than a business strategy. 14 years on, that venture remains your pride and joy. A well-crafted portfolio of cookbooks and TV cooking shows has brought your lessons in East-West culinary diplomacy to home kitchens around the world. Inspiring, too, is your work on behalf of social causes, notably fighting world hunger and raising awareness of food allergies. Expert preparation and artful presentation are hallmarks of every great chef, but you give us more than that. A deep appreciation for food as cultural touchstone, an abiding belief in the connecting power of a shared meal. Therefore, by virtue of the authority vested by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the Bentley University Board of Trustees, we confer upon you, Ming Tsai, the honorary degree Doctor of Commercial Science. We hold it to be a great pleasure and a tremendous honor to do so.
I now call Chef Tsai to deliver the commencement address.
Good afternoon, President Larson, Board of Trustees, graduates, family. It's a real honor, and I'm very humbled to be here. When I took over the Boston Red Sox in 2002, oh, sorry, wrong speech, sorry. All of you graduates have a word, and President Larson just mentioned it, success. Everyone here wants to be successful. I want to be successful. You want to be successful. What is it, though, success? I've always said, if your goal is to be successful, and that's your only goal, and your tunnel vision that I want to be successful, I don't think you'll get there. I think your goal has to be different. Your goal has to be, how can I serve? How can I change the world? How can I leave my mark? Every one of you can leave your mark. And by the way, if your goal is to change the world, you will be a success. Don't start a company saying, I can't wait to sell it. No, start a company to try to help people. Cure cancer, cure AIDS, fight obesity, fight hunger, whatever it might be. But that has to be your goal, not I want to be a success. All of that will happen if it's in your mind. And the mind is amazing. It is so much more powerful than everyone in this room actually knows. I always tell the story, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, and by the way, grads, if you don't know who they are, you studied too much. They're called superhuman, right? People rationally understand why they actually are superhuman. They were better than anyone else on the ice or on the court. And they've been interviewed, and they both had the same story. When they're playing, they see things in slow motion. So Gretzky had an extra half a second to get a shot off. And when Jordan was in the air and everyone else was coming down, he was still going up, which is remarkable. So it's easy to digest and understand they're superhuman. Well, there are also people out there, and you know these people, Galileo, Einstein, Picasso, Miles Davis. They're also different. They're superhuman. But they're superhuman with their mind, so they definitely use more than 10% of their brain. They probably use 50, 80, who knows? That mind is the power that they have. And I've seen stuff that is remarkable with the mind. You've all probably heard of energy work. You've all probably know of The Secret, visualization, project what you want. Don't worry about your, student loans. Worry about not the negative, but thinking about the positive. And I've seen, for example, mind minds do amazing stuff, like this. This is a fork, right? It's not a normal fork. Well, it's technically a fish fork based on its shape. This fork has a great story with my wife, Polly. We were at an event in Boston with a guy named, there's a group of people called experimentalists. These are people that absolutely have ESP, can read your mind. This guy was bending wine glasses stemmed, and this fork was placed in my wife's hand, like this. And he came, and he did this, and the fork twisted twice. He didn't touch the fork, it just twisted in his hand. And this is a fork from the table, from the dinner table. And when my wife opened the fork, it was bent around twice, the metal. I can't bend it back. He used his mind to bend this fork. And it was not a magic trick. This was his mind. So if you know that your mind can do stuff like this, that you're projecting what you want to be, your goal, not success, but your goal to change the world, using your mind is halfway there. As President Larson also mentioned, my son, David, he was born with food allergies to soy, wheat, dairy, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, and eggs. The son of a chef. Bad joke. Very bad joke. But as President Larson mentioned, it gave me my calling. I became the national spokesperson for FAN, Food Allergy and Anaphylaxis Network. I passed the first law in Massachusetts, the first in the union, to make restaurants safer. So there was a reason there. But the amazing thing about David now is he's been cured of all his food allergies through energy work. There's no Western medicine, no treatment to cure food allergies. We just came back from Beijing 4 weeks ago. We never would have gone to Beijing, because peanut oil is used everywhere, if he had food allergies. It would be foolish. But he has no food allergies. Mind over matter. And energy work is very woo-woo, right? I mean, we all accept acupuncture now. 20 years ago, they're like, needles in your body? You crazy? Yeah, it works. Mind over matter. And I think there's a great lesson knowing you can be anything you want if you use your mind. I'm going to give you a quick my life philosophy that is so simple. And actually, I was in a Chinese philosophy class at Yale, and there's a wonderful disciple of Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu is the father of Taoism. His name was Chuang Tzu. The story goes that one day Confucius was doing a lesson with 3 disciples at a side of the Heilongjiang waterfall in the middle of China, the most powerful waterfall in China. So powerful, fish can't even survive on the bottom. So Confucius is giving his lesson, and he sees a man apparently trying to end his life. He's at the bottom of the falls. So he tells his disciples, run, try to save the man. Well, they get there, and Zhuangzi is wiping himself off the water, started whistling, and walked away. Confucius stopped him and says, sir, you do not appear to be a ghost. Yet, what is your magical way? How did you survive the Heilongjiang waterfall? And Zhuangzi said, sir, I have no magical way. I do not fight the turbulent water. I flow with the eddies, and that is how I survive. So that's a long-winded way of saying what I've always believed is flow with the water. Go with the flow, because you have to. You're going to get problems, issues. Everyone has issues. And I hate hearing, well, I had a bad childhood, or I had a bad this, or that doesn't matter, because today is now. You have everything, actually. You even got a piece of paper to prove it. I mean, maybe you don't have it yet, do you? But you have to realize that things are going to be thrown at you, and you have to flow with it, because if you don't, you will drown. I came up with this little, I call it my life acronym, if I may, because ultimately, the most important thing is to be happy, right? Happiness, to be happy. So the H in happy for me is help others. You have to give back, period. Leave your mark on this world. And as I know you guys already do a lot of that, and that's awesome. But help others, it's important. How can I serve? A in happy, apply yourself. You can't be lazy. Nothing is gonna be given to you. The old adage, getting the worm, coming in early, leaving late at work, that actually does matter. But don't do it for FaceTime and Showtime. Do it to accomplish something. If you're gonna get there early, make sure you're doing it because you're gonna do something better than everyone else. You have to apply yourself. First P, passion. Follow your dreams, right? As President Larson said, I have a degree in mechanical engineering. That's really useful. I had a couple rules growing up. I'm Chinese American. I'm very proud of that. Both my parents were born in Beijing. And they said, son, get any grades you want, as long as they're straight A's. Be anything you want, as long as it's a doctor, lawyer, engineer. And marry anyone you want, we prefer Chinese. I'm 0 for 3. And my lovely wife over there does, coincidentally, although she's Caucasian, from Dayton, Ohio, speaks fluent Mandarin. And it kind of pisses me off because my parents said her accent is better than mine. I'm like, say what? It is. And that's only because women listen better than men. It's true. And you're smarter too. And I'm not just saying that because she's here. Women are smarter because women listen better. I mean, we just don't listen. It's just the way it is. And your ears are smaller, so I don't get it. The second P, PowerPoint. No, not PowerPoint. But if you don't know PowerPoint, you won't be graduating, by the way. The second P is priorities. Set your priorities. My priority in life has always been family first, happy family first. Family, family, family. I don't have an empire of restaurants. I have one, 14 years. I have plenty on my plate. I've had plenty of opportunities. I turned a guy once, turned him down in Santa Fe. And it was a great opportunity. And my wife and I should digress, we had a conversation 2 weeks before I met this man. He said, we're not gonna move from a desert Santa Fe to another desert, which was Vegas, because Vegas at the time was where everything was happening. This is 17 years ago. And this gentleman told me amazing numbers I've never heard for as a chef. I was making $65K or something. And he's like, build a restaurant up to $8 million. They're going to give you 10% on revenue, blah, blah, blah. You're going to make about $500,000 to $800,000. I'm like, oh, my God. But my wife and I had that conversation. Can't move to a desert. Can't raise a family in Vegas, all right? That doesn't work. I said, sir, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And he goes, well, here's my card. My name is Steve Wynn. I'm opening up the Bellagio. It should do pretty well. If you change your mind, give me a call. I'm like, thanks, Stevie. No one knew Steve Wynn then. Anyway. But the priority was, at that time, Polly. The priority was raising a family. It was not money. It's never been money. The why? Yak. It's the only word I could think of. No. You. The why is you. Only you can ultimately control your own happiness. Only you can decide what's right and wrong. You're going to be in a situation that you want to scream and yell at that person for messing up, or that person for lying, or that person for whatever. You can control how you react to that, though. I try to tell my kids, and I try to tell myself when I'm in a conflict, in a situation, what would Dr. Maya Angelou do right now? What would she say right now? And if you do that, you realize yelling and screaming and worse, being condescending, is not going to help. It will never help the situation. But ultimately, you have to eventually disappoint some people. You cannot make everyone happy. It's impossible. You're going to have to disappoint some people, but it has to make sense for you. We all have parents. They want us to be X, Y, or Z. I'm a cook. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, engineer. But that's what made me happiest. And if you don't do what's going to make you happy, you're never going to be very good at it. You have to follow what you want. Not being selfish and self-absorbed and self-centered. No, you have to care about everything around you, but the buck does stop here. Don't forget that. You can't blame anyone else if you're not happy. It's your own fault. So you can make it. My favorite quote from Dr. Angelo, which I think sums up a lot of this. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And there are no wiser words than that. You guys have an amazing opportunity to go out there and make people feel great. Cherish people, love people, respect people, and back at yourself as well. Respect yourself, cherish yourself, love yourself. There's a wonderful 90-year-old lady named Louise Hayes who every morning wakes up in the morning. She first thanks her mattress for a wonderful night's rest. And then she goes to the bathroom and looks in the mirror and says, "Good morning, gorgeous. You look fine today." It works. She's 90, and she's happy, happy. I'm going to leave you with just what I think success is. There's so many successful people, and we all seen them. We all know millionaires, billionaires even, that are miserable. All the money in the world. You can be successful but not be happy. But if you are truly happy, you are a success. So congratulations to you all. Thank you very much. And go conquer the world.